steps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but.
And Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
we can't ask Rashad questions.
Hey, Rashad.
You got media personalities beefing, sharing some words. So apparently on the Joe Budden podcast, they were discussing Elliott Wilson and b.dot, why they stopped working together. He said b.dot is hiding behind those lists and Elliott is hiding behind DJ Head. So these guys, b.dot and Elliott Wilson, they were kind of like known for like a high, profile type of podcast with Rap Radar. And Rap Radar, it used to be exclusively just on what was it, Tidal, on Jay-Z joint Tidal. And so like it was very exclusive, but they would get the biggest people. Like they would get Will Smith before he was doing interviews like he is now. They would get Jay-Z, obviously. The big guys, kind of had like a exclusivity feel to it. Like this is a high level kind of respected podcast above like really, because at the time Joe Budden, he didn't have no guests on. It was just him, Rory Mal, and Parks, and they just all just making kind of jokes, really joking about what's going on. It's not no serious. A little more serious was like b.dot and Elliott, because they both had years and decades of experience within journalism, and the conversations were like kind of strictly about the music and the direct ties and inspiration to the music of the lyrical content. And that's kind of like how Rap Radar was always looked at. So it went away. And b.dot said that the only reason was because they couldn't find a platform they could fund it the way they needed it to be funded. And so Elliott, in the meantime, he's sitting on the sidelines and he's watching the streamers like Kai Cenat and eventually Playboy Max, guys like that get all the big celebrities like a Nicki Minaj and stuff like that. And he's like, well, I'm the journalist. Like, why can't I get y'all? Drake, messing, calling Speed, calling Aiden, calling Kai. And, he like, Drake gonna go do a stream with Aiden Ross, but he can't do an interview with me, or he can't do an interview with someone who's a journalist. And, he just saw the shift in media, which I think we all saw, especially as a media member. I could say I saw the shift myself. But me is just like kind of something, I guess, I just kind of kept to myself. And I always had the mentality of, shoot, well, if the game is ever evolving and ever changing, you just got to evolve and change with it. I feel like, if you're good enough, if you work hard enough and everything like that, like you're going to figure it out. Even if I can't get a Nicki Minaj sit down or a Childish Gambino, like my dream, I'll put it out in the air, bro. I'll put it out in the air. My dream extensive sit down is with Donald Glover, bro. Childish Gambino, dude. If I could get a sit down with him, talk to him 20 minutes for an hour, bro, like that's my bucket list moment. You know what I'm saying? For sure. And I met Donald very briefly when I was like 21 on the set of Atlanta. I was on Atlanta season 1. And that was cool, saying what's up to him and everything. But like I always, like that's my biggest inspiration. I know it's getting mushy, and so I won't get too much into it. But like I've asked so many times for interviews with him, like dating back to when I was in school, bro. Like I asked his people, interviews, emails and stuff like that. Email, follow up. He's not doing any, sorry. I asked on his last tour when I was at my old job, when I was working down the street, sorry, we're going to have to pass. And then he did the interview with AJC and my homegirl. Shout out to my homegirl. Hold on, let me shout her out. Let me make sure I get her right. Hold on, give me a second here. Let me make sure I get her right. Where's she at? I'll look up an artist because I know she follow all the artists in the city. But let me see. Let me shout her out. Deasia Page. Shout out to Deasia Page for sure. But Deasia Page, she did the interview with him over Zoom ahead of his, return to his hometown and stuff like that for a feature with the hometown paper. And I don't know, man. Like, I just always wanted my interview with him. So I'm gonna keep working, bro. Keep working, and hopefully to pass the line, and I work the platform up to where it needs to be, to where he's a fan of me as well, and he'll sit down and do it. So yeah, I say all that to say, yeah, man, like I feel it. I understand the frustration of not being able to sit down with the biggest artists after, like, naturally and historically the biggest artists sit down with the journalists with the biggest platforms. You have the background of XXL and Rap Radar and all these places, and it doesn't matter all the work and the way that you built your name up over decades. If Kai Cenat is going to get 100,000 viewers in real time, and then at least 4 million viewers on YouTube with the replays and the clip channels and everything like that, promoting the same thing. So, and you're having fun with Kai. He's not asking you, invasive questions. He's not asking you anything that's going to make you really, think too much. And that's not a diss to Kai. It's just the nature of streaming. It's like you go there to have fun, and you get tired of the routine of interviews and sitting down. And someone like an Offset, right, is a great example. Offset, they're gonna ask him about losing his cousin. They're gonna ask him about the split up of Migos. They're gonna ask him about Quavo, all the stuff again. They're gonna ask him about Cardi B and they whole drama now, right? Like that's what they're gonna ask about. Versus, I go over to Kai's house, we play 2K, we dance to the song, we sleep over, and then we just have a good time. We just do a bunch of random activities throughout the night. In the morning, I change my clothes or I grab my sleeping bag and I head back home. Shoot, I'd rather have fun and do a sleepover like I'm a kid again for a day, So yeah, I say all that to say, yeah, I get it. I get the frustration from Elliott, but that frustration he kind of turned into, and they spell Elliott's name wrong too. They spelled it with one T here. It's Elliott with two T's. But he turned that into the show that he has now. What is it called? The Conversation on Uprocks, because he's like the editor in chief at Uprocks now and stuff. What's the Elliott Wilson show? He also has the Elliott Wilson Experience. But what's the name of the show that he has with Jeremy Heck? The Bigger Picture. It's called The Bigger Picture. So you know what I'm saying? So he's got The Bigger Picture with Jeremy Heck and DJ Head. They've been doing that for a little while. And they have their moments, you know what I'm saying, where they get attention for their takes and stuff like that. And it just is what it is. And b.dot, his like biggest thing, the way he makes waves is his lists, reacting to lists and writing lists and posting them himself. So it's like the greatest Nas albums, the greatest New York albums, Jay-Z's albums ranked in order, all that stuff. And yeah, so with that being said, let me see what Joe said in these 94 seconds.
Give us the tea of what happened between you and Elliott. Let's get to the bottom of some things.
The what?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Wait, but that's kind of like, is that one verse?
Oh, that's true.
No. Yeah,
that's what makes it tough.
Yeah,
it's a lot of the...
Yeah.
But it might be 16.
Yeah. It's a lot back.
Ain't a lot of niggas that can say they made Big rewrite a verse.
They made who?
Big.
Meth killed that shit.
Meth made Big rewrite the verse.
Busy Bone too.
Wow.
A lot of people
back to Bone
got that.
All right, in the future, we'll unpack what happened with b.dot and Elliott. We will get to the bottom of it. Something happened. He trying to hide behind these lists, and Elliott trying to hide behind DJ Head and fucking Jeremy. We got to find out.
He said his name. Jeremy, if you guys don't know Jeremy, the last time he mentioned the show and brought up Jeremy, he said that white boy. And Jeremy was like, dang, I can't get my name called. And now he's saying your name, Jeremy. Congratulations. Jeremy's a good dude. He's like my age. He's like probably a little older, but yeah, he's good. Like Jeremy Heck, I'll say, like, I was at the on a carpet with him, and he prepared to where he had one question for every single person on the call sheet. I don't know how he did it, because you get the call sheet when you show up. So I guess he just looked up and the emails of who was supposed to be there, just came up with a question for everybody. So he just asked quick questions, and a lot of the stuff was just funny. Like, he has a good sense of humor, but he's so knowledgeable and smart, has a good relationship with some of the artists, a lot of the artists and stuff. Yeah, he's just a good dude. So shout out to Jeremy Heck.
Joe not letting you ain't letting it go.
Oh no, these niggas the new Jesus and Mero, nigga. I'm on this. I'm on this one. Just tell me. If you tell me, I'll leave it alone. If you just shoot me a text when you see this, I know Elliott at least is a Patroni. If you shoot me a text when you see this, like, yo,
This
it was a little hectic on one night with us. And just, I'm going to say, all right, that's peace. I understand. Chilling. All podcasters got to do is reach out. It's peace. Nor hit me say, yo, I'm in town tomorrow, 3 Mile Run, 8 a.m. Let's do it. Nigga, no.
They did it. Him and Wallow and all that.
Good for them. Nigga, no. And if I do run, I'm not running with you niggas.
Crazy.
I'm gonna run by myself. I gotta be part of a running crew.
That's crazy.
It's like gangs.
It's dope.
There's
right.
no difference, really.
So b.dot, he quote tweeted and said, "You rang at Joe Budden." Let me see.
This guy's foolish.
Yo, b.dot.
Did he say anything? Let me see. Nah, he ain't saying nothing. Elliott, by the way, he like kind of helped spark the 15-year or how many years it's been, 12-year beef between Drake and Kendrick. Because he's the one that sat down with Drake at the panel at like a random conference or convention in front of an audience, or it might have been just a live podcast, and asked him how he felt about the Kendrick verse. And he said, well, I've been asked about it this entire media rollout thing for Nothing Was the Same. And, you know, that's what he wanted. He wanted a moment, but it's just a moment. He says, has anybody listened to that song now? Or can anybody name any other lines from that verse? And he said, exactly. It's not going to last. It's not going to stand the test of time. It's just a gimmick. And after that, boy, Kendrick went on BET ever since I put a sensitive rapper in his pajama clothes. Ha ha. Joke's on you. High five. I'm bulletproof. You shout out to Schoolboy Q. Shout out to SZA. Shout out to Absolutely. Shout out to Isaiah Rashad. Shout out to Top Dog Entertainment. But yeah, so shout out to Elliott Wilson. Anyways, here we go.
That's for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
We can't ask Rashad a question.
Hey, Rashad.